So we are continuing with the tourism in Africa, and we say that we looked at Kenya, we looked at Eastern Africa. So we want to compare some countries in Africa across the board, like Morocco. We want to look at also Egypt, South Africa, and then Africa as a whole. So we say tourism is the activity of traveling from one place to another to the places of interest for pleasure and enjoyment. Then we say tourists are people who move from one place to another for enjoyment. That's what we call the tourists. But remember, we say that the main tourist attraction in Africa is wildlife. Wildlife, and especially the big five or the big five animals, example of them. So that's the main tourist attraction. Then we say that also we have the sandy beaches. Sandy beaches is just along the coastal, where the tourists can come along the coast of Africa. They bathe themselves and then they sunbathe on the sand. So that's what you call sand beaches. So this one is found along the coast. So the main tourist attraction along the coast, then that is sandy beaches. So remember that. Then we say it also the tourist attraction in Africa. We have what we call the scenery, sceneries. And we say scenery include the physical features like mountains. We have mountains, we have plains, we have also the valleys, and then we have another one is cultural heritage, cultural heritage. And then we have what we call the climate. So we say Africa has warm climate. That's what attracts tourists, and especially along the coastal, as we said. Now we want to look at the main tourist attraction in Africa, and we are going to look at different countries. We are going to look at Egypt or Kenya. Sorry, let us start with Kenya. So we are comparing these countries, the tourist attraction in these countries. So Kenya, we have, you can say we have game parks and reserves. Game parks and reserves. We said game park are areas set aside by the government to preserve wildlife, and no one is expected to go there to look after the animal in that area. No one is also expected to go and hunt the wild animals. So those are game parks. They are managed by the KWS, Kenya Wildlife Service, KWS. Then we have the game reserves. These ones are managed by the county government. People are allowed to go there and look after the animals in those areas like Masai Mara, game reserve. That's an example. And then we have also another one like Marsabit, and so on. So Maasai normally just go on those plains, they take care of the animals, while zebra are also grazing like that. So you'll find wildlife. So this is one of the major tourist attraction in Kenya. Then we have another one is South Africa. South Africa. We have said we are comparing these countries. South Africa. South Africa, we have what we call Kruger National Park. Kruger National Park. Kruger National Park. And then we have Table Mountain. Table Mountain. So we have Table Mountain just at Johannesburg. You'll find it just across the town. And then we have Kruger National Park, one of the largest parks in Africa. You'll find a lot of wildlife in this park. Then we have another one called Robben's Island. So we have another one called Robben's Island. Robben's Island is where Nelson Mandela was imprisoned for around 27 years during colonial time by the British. So this one also attracted tourists, Robben's Island. And then we have another one called the coast of Durban. So we have a town in South Africa called Durban, and it's just along the coast areas. So this one also attracts tourists because we have said along the coastal areas we have sandy beaches. So South Africa will find this. But majorly we have this one, Kruger National Park Wildlife, and then we have Table Mountain. So those are the tourist attraction in South Africa. Then we have Egypt. Another one is Egypt. Egypt is an Arabic country found in North Africa. So just at the North Africa, you'll find Egypt is there. So one of the major tourist attraction in this area is, we call it pyramids. The pyramids was built by the Israelites during a long time ago. You can read them in historical books and religious books. You can know what happened about the building of the pyramids. So these pyramids, they normally attract many tourists across the world because Egypt itself, first, it has a lot of history, both the religious history in those religious books, and also historically, historians also have come up with very many stories in Egypt. So pyramids attract tourists, and the pyramids are things built, they seem to be like triangles like this. They were built a long time ago by the Israelites. During those days, we had kings like Pharaoh or the Pharaoh. So they attract very many tourists. Then we have also the Valley of Kings. Yeah, Egypt has been ruled by the kings during a long time ago. So during the beginning, it was ruled by kings. So we have the valley where the kings were buried after death. So this one also normally attracts the tourists. And one of the greatest kings, we have the Pharaoh or the Pharaoh. That's what we are talking about. So the Valley of the Kings is contain tombs or graves where the kings were buried. This one also attracts very many tourists in the country. And then we have another one called Cairo Museum. So Cairo is the capital of Egypt, Cairo Museum. Cairo Museum. And in the museum we say that we keep artifacts in the museum. And the artifacts are the things that were used by the people in the past. So when you go to Egypt, we have said historically there are very many things which have been used in the past, because the Egyptians are some of the people, the earliest people who introduced the issue of agriculture, farming, the reading of calendar, calculator, and so on. So they are one of the great scientists. So you'll find that this museum keep very many things which have been established long time ago in different fields, whether agriculture, whether different economic activities. So this one is found in Cairo, and that it is. Then we have another one is called Nile cruises. Nile cruises. So we have Nile river, along River Nile. We have areas called cruises. They also attract very many tourists. So they go in those areas to see that. And then we have also what we call the library at Alexandria. So we have a library at Alexandria. So Alexandria is a town in Egypt. We have very great old library found there. We know very well Egypt is an Arabic country, so you'll find very many things, Arabic and different language, Greeks, Latin language of the Romans. You'll find very many things there which also attract tourists to go and see those places. Then we have another one called the Suez Canal. Suez Canal is just found at the north of Africa, separating Africa from the other part of the world that should be around Asia. That's on the northeast of the part of Africa map. So Suez Canal was a very good place, and we remember during colonial time, the British ran for this place to safeguard it because it was a place for good supply of fresh air, fresh water, and even anchoring of the ship for supply of commodities and so on. So Suez Canal also attracted very many tourists in Egypt. It's also another example. But so we shall finish with that. The major one are we have the pyramids. Those are one of the major tourist attractions in Egypt. Then we are going also to look at Zimbabwe. we have Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is a country found on in the central part of Africa. When you are heading to the southern part of Africa, you will find that country. So we have tourist attraction in this country. We have what we call Victoria Falls. Victoria Falls is the largest fall in Africa, and is found on River Zambezi. So River Zambezi, you'll find it on the border, River Zambezi. River Zambezi. River Zambezi you'll find it on the border of Zambia and Zimbabwe. That river is found there. So you have a very large fall in it. It's called Victoria Falls. This one also attracts very many tourists across the continent of Africa, Asia, talk about the Europe, and even Australia. So very many people go there to see this Victoria Falls. And then we have also another one called Lake Kariba. Lake Kariba is one of the largest man-made lake in the world. So you'll find it there. Lake Kariba is just behind Kariba Dam. Kariba Dam is also found on River Zambezi along the border of Zimbabwe and Zambia. So you'll find it there. So this lake also, so we said during the construction of the dam, behind the dam, we have a man-made lake which is formed behind the dam. And this one we have said is one of the largest dam. It also attracts very many tourists when they visit those areas. They found this area. So Lake Kariba is also a tourist attraction in Zimbabwe. And then we have also another one called Wango National Park. Wango National Park is found also in Zimbabwe. So Wango National Park is found in Zimbabwe, and when you talk about the national park, then we are looking at the tourist attraction, which is wild animals or wildlife. So when you go to Zimbabwe, you have one of the largest park called Wango National Park. We have a lot of the wildlife which attract very many tourists across the world. Then another one we have Harare Town. Harare Town. So Harare Town is mostly known for its culture. So there is a lot of culture. Different communities in Zimbabwe, they portray very different cultures in Harare Town. So very many tourists get attracted to this town because of the cultural aspects of the way of life of the communities found in Zimbabwe. So Harare Town also attracts tourists because of cultural aspects in life and so on. Another country, we are going to look at Mauritius. Mauritius. Mauritius is an island found in the Indian Ocean, just at the north of Madagascar. So you'll find it. Madagascar is one of the largest islands in Africa. So if I may sketch the map of Africa, it's something like this. So this is Madagascar, then Mauritius is somewhere here. So this is Mauritius, this here. It's just an island. So one of the major industry or the major sector in Mauritius, it is tourism, and they are one of the most expensive tourist destination in Africa, because this is an island, and you know very well island, it has small spaces. So the government of Mauritius try to utilize this sector of tourism to attract very many tourists across the world. So it is one of the most expensive tourist attraction in Africa. When you talk about Mauritius, it's just an island on the Indian Ocean, and then attract very many tourists. We have a place called Botanic Garden, where you'll find some leaves like plates floating on water. So it is also a very good place for tourist destination, though it is also very expensive in that case. So Mauritius, we want to look at So Mauritius, because it's an island, one of the tourist attractions in Mauritius, it is sandy beaches, because it's found along the coastal. Sandy beaches, yeah. So sandy beach is one of the tourist attractions in Mauritius. Then we have also warm climate. Warm climate. Warm climate. We said that Africa, most of Africa lies on the tropics. And when we talk about tropics, then we are looking at this. We say this one is equator. Equator, it is marked 0 degrees on the prime meridian. Then we say that this is called Tropic of Cancer. Tropic of Cancer is marked 23.5 degrees north. Then here we have what we call Tropic of Capricorn. Tropic of Capricorn, it is marked 23.5 degrees south. So 23.5 degrees south, like that. Then we said the sun is overhead here on 21st June. 21st June. So in the month of June, this region is experiencing sun, which is summer. Then at this place, it is 22nd December. So December here, the season here is summer, which is it is sunny. Then here we say it is March and September. And then we say that here is called equinox. Equinox means the length of day and night is the same. So these are what we call the tropics, 1, 2, 3. And we say areas within the tropics, they are warm. Why? Because the sun is overhead throughout the year. When you talk about December, when you talk about June, March, and September, it is here. So that's why Africa experiences warm climate than other countries, like than other places. So the places far away from the tropics like this one, then you head to the Europe here, then we have Asia here. You'll find that this area, some of these areas, they experience winter because they are far away from the tropics. So that's what you're talking about. So warm climate in Mauritius. Then we have also another one called Black River Georges National Park. We have another national park here called Black River Georges National Park. So in the national park, when you talk about national park, and then we are just talking about wildlife and so on. And then we have another one called ruin of the European settlement. Ruins just means the remains of European settlement. So most of the Europeans were settling here, so European settlements. So you'll find that the remains are here where they are staying in this place. Then we have another one called Morocco. We're also going to look at Morocco. Morocco is a country in the North Africa. So Morocco is here. Morocco. So we have tourist attraction. We have old town of Marrakech. Old town of Marrakech. That one is one of the major tourist attraction also in Morocco. And then we have also what we call the Berbers village. Berbers village. Berbers, we also call them Almovarites. Almovarites. So the Berbers village. Berbers are just like Arabs, but it's a different community in North Africa. Morocco, you'll find it. They are there. So that's also a tourist attraction. And then we have a great mountain called Atlas Mountain. It's one of the greatest fold mountain in Africa. So it's also found in this country called Morocco. It also attracts very many tourists in this area. So that is about Africa. I think those are the major tourist attraction sites in Africa, and we shall wind up on that. So thank you for watching.